Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the FIDLOCK TWIST Toolbox Magnetic Cageless Bike Gear Bag. The FIDLOCK TWIST Toolbox combines the brand's clever cageless magnetic twist mounting system with a large toolbox to store gear or food. It's a rigid toolbox that shares the same twist bike base used by the FIDLOCK water bottles and is meant for storage instead of hydration. You can see with this one you get the base as well, and you have a nice illustration on their packaging. You can also see you just twist this off the packaging itself, and you can see the base is there. And then you have a little plastic cover protecting the toolbox. So definitely a cool setup. I'll go ahead and open this up. We'll go over the full specs. So retail price on this is $49.99. It has a 500 milliliter capacity, so quite large. And it's a rigid toolbox, so you can see you have a nice rigid construction that protects all the contents. It uses their cageless twist base, so same one you get with the bike bottle. It's the exact same one, so it's interchangeable, so you can put a water bottle on here as well. And it has a water repellent design, and you can see with the taped up zippers, should also help keep water out. You also have internal mesh pockets that keep everything safe and secure. So definitely an interesting setup that you can put on your bike and reuse the slots for your water bottle cage. As far as what comes with it, we'll go ahead and open up the packaging a little bit more. You can see we just have a couple bolts holding the base in place, the instruction manual here, and then we have the toolbox itself and the little dividers on the inside. Now let's take a look at the weight of the toolbox. So the toolbox by itself comes in at 154 grams, and then the base with the supplied bolts. And there's actually a warning on here, you definitely have to use the smaller heads as this needs to sit flush. That comes in at 23 grams. Visually, the FIDLOCK TWIST Toolbox is a large, rigid toolbox that uses FIDLOCK's clever mounting system. The bag has an all-black finish with a very subtle FIDLOCK logo that's ghosted on here with this glossy print. You can see it's also pretty big. There's only one size option and one color, just this one. This is 500 milliliters, so you have quite a bit of capacity, and it's essentially the size of a bottle. It's 7.5 inches long, and then you can see it's almost square profile with 3.5 inches deep, and then 3.5 inches wide. This is only described as water resistant, so it's definitely not waterproof. You don't want to dump this in a lake, but you can see it has a nice construction, should handle at least normal rain, and you can see you have a taped zipper that goes all the way around, so that should prevent water intrusion. Mounting on this uses their same twist lock system. So it's kind of an ingenious system, gets rid of the need for cages or straps, and those are usually places where you can scratch up your frame. Or if you had a big strap, you wouldn't be able to access all the contents. With this one, everything is kind of integrated into the base, so you can always access everything, and it's just a quick motion. This uses a combination of this locating pin on the center, and then two giant magnets. So you can see if you get them kind of close and in the right orientation, they'll just lock into place, and then you have that pin there that located it. To remove it, you can see this one is a right hand twist. They also have a left hand twist variation as well, which is kind of interesting. So you can see this will only go out that way, and you don't have to twist it on to put it on. That's the ingenious part about this. The magnets are so strong, you can see if I get it close, it just wants to go in there, and with these beveled edges, it will just slide into place immediately. The combination of the two of them means you can see that it will attract itself really quickly and lock in. So as long as you get in the general vicinity, it'll lock into place, and then you can see you have a mechanical locking mechanism, so you can't just pull this away. Again, you have to twist it. So a very simple design, and because everything's nice and flat, you don't have, again, straps or anything else. It's the exact same base that you get with their standard mount, so you can use the same version, and they also sell the toolbox by itself without the base if you already have it. You do have the mounting hardware as well, and again, you have to be careful that the hardware you're using has these flat heads because you want this to be flat. You don't want this to protrude outward, because if it were, then you would have a lot of trouble mounting this. Taking a closer look at the toolbox, you can see just a wraparound zipper design. You have the kind of bulky receiver for the twist base. So I'll go ahead and open this up. If you open up all the way, you can see we can open up the entire thing. You have kind of a divided compartment. So on the intersection, you have this nice mesh area. And then this is nice and big, so you can put an inner tube or other larger items here. Then you have this kind of divider here, and you can see this is actually sewn into place. So it's sewn down to the center. It's all black here. It would have been nice if there was a high contrast, like we've seen with some of the Toolbox products. But with this one, you kind of have this rigid fabric liner, and then all these elastic hoops. So you can put tools here or smaller items. So if you have tubeless repair items like darts, this would be perfect for that. And then even the back side of this has 4 additional elastic hoops. You can see the mounting hardware is fairly bulky. So it extends all the way down and extends about the same distance inward. So it does eat up some of the inside real estate, but you still have a lot of space behind and front and then on the edges for other items. Because when this sits on here, you still have that additional area. So a little bit smaller once you open it up, but definitely a lot of compartments, and it's nice that it's more divided. So you're not just dumping everything in there. Now let's take a look at the toolbox on our bike. Here we have it on our Decathlon Triband bike, and you see very easy to put on and take off. You don't have any straps, so you just yank it off, and then you can access the contents. It's fairly large, but you have the divider that breaks up the space, so you can see we have the tool levers, we have a little wrench, as well as a single tube. You can also put a little bit more items in here, but because you have the divider, you can't really put large items. And then you can see very easy to put on, but it's very close to our other water bottle cage. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the FIDLOCK TWIST toolbox. What we like about it is you have a cageless design. It uses their clever magnetic twist-on design. So there's no ratchets, no straps. You just easily put it near it and it'll lock into place, and it's very secure. You also have internal mesh pockets, which means you can organize all the contents. As far as negatives, the inside of the toolbox is all black. Would have been nice to have a high-vis color like we've seen with some of the Toolbox products that make it easier to spot everything. Also, the twist hardware with the magnets protrudes inside the toolbox, so behind the main divider, you do sacrifice some space. Also, this is a fairly large toolbox, so even on our larger frame, it's very close to the other water bottle cage, and this may not work on smaller frames. Taking everything into account, we'd give the Twist toolbox a 9.0 out of 10. It's a clever magnetic toolbox. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclists. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.